Okay, here we go. It's time to do the Marksman rifles. So, the first one we gotta do is the SWAT 556. Oh, stop giving me double gas! Silly mimics. Why does that keep giving me these? Alright, it doesn't matter anyway, I've killed it. So now, yep, we've got OPAL done for the first weapon. Alright, second one we've got to do is the Tsarkov 762. So let's just go ahead and add that to tracked and let's get on with it. Alright, so I'm doing the bull mural technique for this whole tomb thing in this area for once, just because I'm kind of getting sick of looking at that other area of the map. I've been like using that area for ages now for this technique. Here we go. Right, that should be OPAL complete for the Tsarkov. Wait for it. Oh, we already got the side pop-up. And there we go. Nice one. Okie dokie. The third one we've got on the list is the AEK 973. God damn. The last one. There we go. The last one was actually the last one I needed for the camo. Okay. And lastly, we are on to the DM10, which apparently have accidentally done 2 bits of progress to this thing before this video. But anyway, needless to say, let's get into this. Come here, big guy. Come on. Get out of the way. There we go. That's all 4 Marksman rifles to OPAL. As you can see. Lovely. So now let's get to the video. Okay, guys, so here we are on to the main part of the video, the guide. Essentially, this is where I will break down all of the challenges for the weapons. I will rank them as well at the end and just give my general opinions on the weapon class that we have just completed. So let's just hop straight into this. The Marksman rifles, honestly, were a lot more fun than I thought they would be. I was holding them off for quite a while, thinking they were going to be super boring or just a little bit shit, but then I forgot that when I was doing them for multiplayer, they honestly felt like just burst fire ARs. They don't even feel that bad. They're not really like snipers at all, apart from like the DM10, which feels a little bit more like a sniper because it comes with a scope by default. But once you take that off, it feels like the rest of them. So honestly, let's just get straight into this. So the first weapon you actually have to do is the SWAT 556. This one should be quite fun because honestly, they made that whole Grau conversion kit recently, you know, with the whole return to old Verdansk and all these old weapons and stuff. So you guys could honestly just run the Grau conversion kit for this weapon in zombies and it'll probably be a lot more fun. I personally didn't because I just used it like normal. Anyway, before we get to the Grau, or the SWAT, I should say, we actually need to talk about the military camos. They're obviously the same for every single weapon. So the military camos are your bog standard 2000 critical hit kills, aka headshots. And these things are so easy because, like I say in all of these videos, it's kind of, you know, starting to sound like I'm a broken record. But check out that video up there, the oil trap technique for Citadel. If you haven't been using it yet, then you've been missing out. This thing is going to get you all 2000 done super easily. You can do it in a single game, actually. And I did actually get most of these Marksman rifles, for once, done in one game. And I'm kind of used to going into multiple games because I keep getting killed, or something goes wrong where a bunch of bucket-headed zombies start stacking on me in later rounds and start punching me when I'm in the trap and it gets me killed. But honestly, if you manage to drag out your game till around round 40 or something, you will get all 2000 of these done in that one match just from using this oil trap. So it's super efficient, and something I actually would give as a tip towards the entire grind. So I guess this could help with your 2000 critical hit kills. Not really, but it will help with the oil trap, which you use for the 2000 critical hit kills, is to make sure all of your weapons are running a suppressor, because the suppressor is actually going to increase your salvage drop. And if you didn't know, salvage is very useful for buying the Molotovs that you use for these oil traps. So it just means you're going to have a surplus of them, and it helps obviously salvage to buy the upgrades for your weapons, which will be useful for some of the actual special camos for some of these guns, and it'll be useful in general for improving your overall strength of your weapons. So just generally, you're going to want that suppressor on most of your weapons just to make sure that you're getting that extra salvage drops off zombies, because it really does make a huge difference. I was surprised myself personally. So yeah, the 2000 critical hit kills for all these weapons, do them on Citadel de Morts, do it in the oil trap. It's going to be the fastest, efficient way to get it done. Let's get on to the first special camo for the SWAT. So the first special camo is going to ask you to kill 100 enemies affected by your tactical equipment. Now, in the past, I would have just said, yep, get your monkey bomb and just throw it down and kill the zombies normally. But I found that it's even more fun and much quicker to do if you do this whilst you're in the oil trap. So obviously, my standard advice is always to go for the symbol monkeys, aka monkey bombs. They last the longest, meaning the zombies are distracted for the longest, meaning more zombies have time to get distracted by it. If you're using the decoy grenades, they're going to last a very short amount of time, and stuns and flashes and all those kind of stuff, they're terrible. There's a chance that you're going to stun or flash yourself because you have to throw them at a wall or at something. You know, you have to be careful about how you throw them and the trajectory. They're kind of a bit more picky. So my go-to is always for these tactical equipment challenges to be using the symbol monkeys. But if you do this whilst you're in the oil trap, it's going to be even more satisfying, because not only are the zombies that are coming towards you dying in the oil trap, but if you throw the monkey bomb straight down into where the fire is, the rest of the zombies are going to run into this monkey bomb, but they're going to burn up from the trap and it's going to track to your weapon. So it's super easier doing it that way. I found that I got that done in maybe like 1 or 2 sessions of being in one of the oil traps, like 50 kills per trap, and I was doing this in like round 20 to 40. The other challenge is going to ask you to get 75 armored zombie eliminations. Again, armored zombies are going to walk into the oil trap, so you don't really have to think about it if you're using that technique. But something I will definitely say is if you're going for the armored zombies manually rather than using the trap, go to your attachments on your weapon, you add the fire mod, and you go with the 5.56 NATO FMJ. They are going to allow you to have 3 hits of improvement to penetration damage, which is going to break through that armor a lot quicker. That is something you can definitely do if you're using the gun naturally. And another thing is obviously making sure your weapon's high enough pack-a-punch and high enough rarity by the time that they start to spawn in. And I believe they start to spawn in at around round 8 to 10. So pretty sure it's round 10, but I'm just going to say round 8 because I think I've seen them at round 8 before. But anyway, so that is the SWAT 5.56. Then the second marksman rifle you're going to do is the Tsarkov 7.62. And the very first camo this one is going to ask you for its specials is to kill 100 enemies affected by a tactical equipment. Again, it's the exact same challenge we just had before. So if you've already done that challenge once already, you're going to know how to do it the second time. And for the second challenge, it's going to ask you to get 300 eliminations with dead wire equipped. So unfortunately, you can't actually get these kills from the oil trap. It actually has to be from the weapon. So what I did with this one is obviously, one, get your dead wire attachment. It's at the arsenal. It's only worth 500 salvage anyway, so it's pretty cheap. And what you're going to want to do is run in circles around the map. Preferably in your later rounds, you're going to see this is more efficient. If you keep running around and you gather zombies in massive herds and you've got a high pack-a-punch weapon, you could turn around, make sure you got like Deadshot Daiquiri on to make your weapons all aim to the head, and just start spraying through zombies. You'll get this done much quicker than you realize. If you want to, you can of course use other things like the Tesla Storm, right, to shock zombies around you and shoot them that way, or you can just use the monkey bomb to distract them and then start shooting at them whilst they're distracted. Whatever way you want to do this, those are the fastest ways I've seen that this works. Now, the third marksman rifle we have on the list is the AEK 973, and the very first challenge for this one, the first special challenge, is going to be to get 300 eliminations with cryo freeze equipped. So cryo freeze again is just the frost ammo mod that you put on your weapon, and this should go for all of these ammo mods. Actually, you should be doing research into your augments. So the way this works is if you go to the augment section, which is just under the class setup area, the weapon section, you can actually do research, and it's completely free. You just got to go to these ammo mods, click start research on them, and when you go into games, just simply getting kills or playing the game is going to progress down through the augment system and upgrade the strength and the abilities of these ammo mods and other stuff in game. So what you actually will benefit from, if you didn't know this, is upgrading and doing research into your augments to improve those ammo mods, making the cryo freeze stronger, as for all the other ones like dead wire and napalm burst, etc, etc. But this is exactly the same advice. Do exactly what I said before with the other challenge, and you'll get your cryo freeze just as easily doing that. And the second one is again 300 eliminations with napalm burst. So it's the same advice, just with using the fire ammo mod. This weapon's probably going to take a little bit longer than the other ones, just because it strictly relies on you using the actual gun and shooting it, as opposed to the other ones which you can go AFK with a bit. It just is what it is. But that is honestly, once you get out of the way, it's going to be super fun to get onto the final one, the DM10. Even though it's not my favorite weapon out of the bunch, it's going to be fun because the challenges are easier. So the very first special challenge for this weapon is going to get 5 critical kills rapidly 15 times. It can be done in the oil trap, and even if you're in high rounds without the oil trap on whatever preferred map you're on, 5 critical kills rapidly, it's like a piece of cake. You just need like pack-a-punch 1 on and maybe like 1 or 2 rarities onto your weapon, and you're going to be easily shredding through zombies to the head, especially with Deadshot Daiquiri locking on the head anyway. This is going to get done super fast, and you can do this even at the start of games. If you are to die in a long match, you can go into a new match and just start working on them pretty much immediately. So very, very easy. It's going to be easier as well to make sure you get the zombies in masses as well if you're not using the oil trap. Getting them together and then shooting at them is going to be much more smart and strategic than shooting at one, running over to find the next one, and it's just going to take too much time in between each kill. But anyway, the next special camo for the DM10 is going to ask you to get 300 eliminations with the weapon at rare rarity or higher. So blue color, purple, golden color, whichever rarity you choose to use. If it's blue or higher, you're good to go. And this as well can be done in the Citadel oil trap. So very, very easy stuff. So let's get to the Mystic Gold Challenge. It's obviously your 10 kills rapidly 15 times. If you're not using the oil trap, you're just going slower for the sake of going slower. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this is going to be the fastest strategy of them all to use. But if you don't choose to use the Citadel oil trap, something you can definitely do, especially if you're at the start of a game, is you can turn on the Rampage Inducer and just begin getting those kills faster, because you're going to have rounds start quicker. Zombies are going to spawn in quicker. They're going to run faster, meaning they're coming to you quicker. And that's going to be easier for you to do if you're choosing to start on this before you even get to the oil trap setup. Another thing that actually works pretty well is Frenzied Guard. I don't know if you've ever used it, but Frenzied Guard is a field upgrade that basically attracts zombies to you for a short period of time. So it's going to actually allow you to get more zombies running to you faster, and that's another way that you can get this done. But it's going to be super easy, 10 kills rapidly 15 times. Just make sure you have on the preferred pack-a-punches and obviously rarities and stuff like that. And then Opal, of course, our beloved Opal challenge, 30 special zombie eliminations. I got them done the quickest I've ever gotten them done, and I don't know why it is, but I guess sometimes I'm going onto the tomb and doing this right, because the tomb video, by the way, still works. It's very useful. I managed to get sometimes upwards of 15 to 20 special kills in a single game. It's really rare that I'll get above 15, but it does happen. And sometimes I'm going in and out of the ice staff trial, and it'll randomly start spawning 3 of them in. It'll spawn 3 specials in, like doppelgast mimics, and it's absolutely nuts. Like, you can get that sometimes to spawn upwards of 2 to 3. So I'm honestly going to say the tomb is going to be the guaranteed best one. It still works, and it's still the most efficient. It's going to get you this done on one weapon in preferably around 2 games. So it's just, as long as you're not killing the other zombies that are spawning into the ice staff trial area, and you're only killing the specials, the rounds will just keep going on every time you leave and come back, and it's just going to keep spawning more and more. So it's going to be the fastest way. But anyway, that is all of the Marksman rifles done. So I guess there's only one last thing to do, and that is to rank these puppies. So I think, honestly, it's going to be fairly simple, this ranking. I don't know how this compares to multiplayer for the ranking I did for Dark Matter, but what I will say is I'm doing the AEK 973 is going at the top. It's the fastest. It has the burst fire, but it's also just super accurate, has really, really low recoil, and it's also got a good amount of ammo. So honestly, it's the best. Then we're going with the SWAT 556 in second. It's also a burst fire, has the same amount of ammo. The only trouble is this one has a bit more recoil, so that's why it falls into second. Then I'm doing the DM10 in third, because the DM10 actually is single fire, but it's also very controlled and very powerful, so it deserves to go third. And the Tsarkov is going in fourth, because this one has a bit of a bounce back to it, or a recoil, so a visual recoil, and it also happens to be single fire as well, so it's not that great. Either way, all 4 of them were fairly fun to use, and I didn't have a huge amount of difficulty doing them, so I would say they're pretty decent overall. And yeah, Opal Camo is definitely worth it if you're wanting a nice diamond alternative. It's a nice camo, but we're all really after the Nebula at the end of the day and the Afterlife camo. So that's generally all there is to say. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to go on to SMGs, and then we'll leave the melees to last. That's my plan. So anyway, yeah, that is everything. Hopefully this video did help you out. If it did, be sure to drop a big like on this video. It's really appreciated, and it helps my video in the algorithm. So thank you so much if you do choose to like. Leave a comment if you want as well to help, and just, you know, let me know your thoughts and feelings. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.